Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Married to Medicine Season 10 Reunion Part 1.
Let's play a game. Simon says, lift your left arm. Simon says, put your left arm down. Simon says, subscribe. Like. I didn't say Simon says. Simon says like. Simon says share. Simon says comment. Simon says leave us a subscription so we can get to 1,000 subscribers. We're right there.
Yes.
And I think the reunion's going to get us there. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Someone put a chunky picture of Heavenly up pretty much everywhere in everyone's dressing rooms, on everyone's doors.
It was a real chunky picture.
We find out it was Sweet Tea who put the posters up. We start the reunion seeing Phaedra's package from this season.
Okay.
Toya thought Apollo would have been at her son's birthday party. Phaedra was bringing Quad around, then she changed her flight for Napa. Phaedra didn't think Quad would want to go to Napa since it was Toya's event. Toya says that Phaedra didn't want to be on the same flight with Quad. Quad felt Phaedra ditched her for the group, and Phaedra said, "Why would I attach myself to the Titanic?"
Are we outside yet, or like we still in the dressing rooms?
Oh, I didn't even talk about the dressing rooms because not much happened there.
Okay.
So we are on set.
We on set.
After Phaedra's package.
Thank you.
And Toya giving her opinion about Apollo not being there.
Yeah, Phaedra, that's the definition of ditching someone.
Yeah.
Saying that, why would I stick close to someone on the Titanic? Well, she was the reason you was on the show. She helped you get on the show.
It would have been nicer for you to just say you were ditching her. I'm the Titanic?
Like,
goodness gracious.
Like, it just, listen here, it just shows Phaedra is an opportunist. You know what I'm saying? Her being on the show, she ain't married to medicine, she ain't dating medicine, but she's on the show.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? What did you think about the first scene so far?
I thought it was decent. I felt like Toya shouldn't have anything to say about Apollo not being there. You don't know these people.
Just mind your business. He probably had a baby last week.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So who knows?
I thought that was unnecessary. And for her saying, I didn't think about you wanting to come to Toya's event because y'all weren't getting along. You brought her to the girls' bachelorette party.
Lies.
I'm just like, you're just saying stuff. Yeah. So, okay, Phaedra. That's all I can say is okay, Phaedra.
Okay, Phaedra. I hope you're not on next season.
Yeah.
I hope you're not. Go ahead.
Heavenly says Phaedra lies all the time. Dr. G told Quad and T that they've dated before, and T as well, that he kissed Phaedra. Now, the thing is, Phaedra is trying to say that they haven't dated, or dating means something different. Yeah. Dating means being intimate. And she's like, we were never really intimate. Okay. So that is what Phaedra's point is trying to be. And she actually did date Dr. G. She's just being weird about it.
I would agree with Phaedra with that point, though. Because if you just on the surface say y'all dated, it does give the impression that y'all was romantic. And she said we wasn't romantic. Yeah. We didn't do anything like that. Yeah. Well, Heavenly tells Sweet Tea that she believes a lot of the things her man says, and there's a lot that she doesn't know. And listen here, and I would say that's true, especially since you haven't been married to him for a year yet. You get what I'm saying? I like the fact that Quad was out there and she was like, look, I understand that, you know, you asked Dr. G for some money, but that wasn't his ministry. You get what I'm saying? And Phaedra had a good punchback. She said, well, he had $4,000 a month and y'all still married him. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So like it right now we just preheating the oven right now with this reunion so far. You know what I mean? Well, Andy Cohen has them play a game of guilty or not guilty. First, they talk about Heavenly's outfit. Did Phaedra purposely misdress Heavenly for that event with the gold and her boobs popping out? Yeah. And Simone says guilty. Phaedra was being messy, bringing Quad to the Bachelorette. Guilty of that. Phaedra asked for $4,000 a month. They believe she's guilty of that. Quad wants to salvage her relationship with Phaedra, and Phaedra just doesn't want to be talked about by Quad if they're not cool. Because apparently Quad went to Heavenly and was telling Heavenly all of Phaedra's business. Phaedra knows that Quad called Heavenly because Phaedra was upset with how Quad handled the resurrection. Yeah, listen here. There was only one way for the Quad resurrection to go, and that was bad. Yeah. Popping out of a casket is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it seems very unserious if you're trying to be apologetic. Exactly. Well, Quad told Phaedra that everything Heavenly said about her. If Phaedra doesn't like how we do things, then she can get the F on, is pretty much what Heavenly said. Man, listen, and honestly, that's true. That's not the worst thing that you can say about somebody. It's not the worst thing. Next, we see Toya's package.
We see the wine business, how Eugene and Toya were getting their dating life back on track, and how Heavenly was calling her out for not paying.
Yes.
Toya says that she and Eugene are much more loving. Simone thinks that Toya does need to chill out a bit and let Eugene plan things and not be so critical.
Yeah.
But Toya is saying, like, this is the way that we've been. This is how we met. This is our dynamic. And Andy asks, at what point did you get this fancy taste? Like, have you been well off all your life? And Toya says that she was moved to the suburbs in middle school and she was wearing Pro Wings or like these Payless type shoes.
Yeah.
And she was made fun of. And ever since that point, she made it in her mind that she wanted to live up to other people's expectations. And that in turn raised her expectations. Toya decided to donate the wine instead of giving $1,000. And Andy pretty much asked her, so you were given the wine. It's not like you actually had to pay for it. And she said that she's given a certain amount of cases per year. She has to throw these events and parties for it. So it was something to where she had to limit, I guess, what she was going to get for the year.
Her little wine allowance.
And Andy says, well, it seems like this would be the perfect time to get the cases of your wine since you're going to be marketing it on this large platform. Andy asked Heavenly why put Toya on blast.
Listen here, let's stop for a second.
Okay.
Let's slow down. We going too fast, Blair.
Okay.
Let's start with this expectations that, because I wore these Payless shoes and things of that nature, and people was making fun of me, which is quote unquote every child's story. You get what I'm saying? I've been made fun of for having shoes that wasn't up to par with quote unquote the cool kids, and I made fun of other people's shoes when I became part of the cool kids that didn't have the shoes. Okay. You get what I'm saying? I've been on both sides of the spectrum.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And you raised your expectations. Did you raise your expectations that you went to college and got the degree and got the high paying job and you support the house financially? Did you raise your expectations so much that now whatever money comes in and things like that, it's because by your hard work, by your hands, by your intellect? No. All you did was jump on the back of somebody else who does the hard work. And here's the thing. When I say jump on the back, I don't mean in a bad thing. That's your husband.
Yeah.
Right? But so far, all we've seen throughout these seasons, 10 seasons of this, is bad money management between y'all two.
Yeah.
And so far, everything that we said or Blair have shared with us throughout this reunion with your package was that you raised the expectations. You said when y'all went out, quote unquote, when y'all were first dating, he ordered a glass of wine for both of you. He was like, no, you said, no, baby, I buy it by the bottle. But you was a waitress.
Yeah.
You was a waitress waiting a table full of doctors. So how is it your expectations that you buy by the bottle when you're a waitress? They are the ones that have the money.
Yeah.
They are the ones that have the work and things of that and the financial liberty that you didn't afford yourself. That's the only problem I have with Toya, is that this expectations and things of that nature, you didn't afford it yourself.
Yeah.
So far, only thing we've seen is IRS problems. So far, what we've seen is Eugene working 100 hours a week. So far, what we've seen is y'all built your dream house. And then what we saw is that y'all sold y'all dream house. And now y'all renting again. Yeah. What is the expectations and the actual thing that you've done to actually live up to the expectation that you raised? Besides putting that expectation on somebody else. Yeah. No. Not fronting the bill. I'm sorry.
I pretty much I see where you're coming from. And I feel the same way. I mean, these are her expectations. But at the same time, I don't even think she was the one that said it really raised her expectations as much as she was saying that she wanted to live up to other people's expectations. She
keeping up with the Joneses,
to keep up with the Joneses. That is what she wants for herself, is to appear to have the best of the best and all of this stuff, whether they can afford it or not. No. So, I mean, that's her life. That's their lifestyle choices, whatever. But at the end of the day, it does sound kind of crazy when you're saying this is what I require from myself, but you couldn't even get it yourself.
Come on now.
So.
And guess what? At the end of the day, I still don't blame you, Toya. I blame Eugene.
Well, the thing is, I agree with her. This is the dynamic of the relationship. This is what works for them. This is what they signed up for. And this is what he knew getting into this marriage.
She wanted a man that has the money, and he wanted a trophy wife. Okay. Because he probably thought, listen here, Toya's probably the best I can do. And guess what, Eugene? Guess what? If you feel that way, I feel it too. But my thing is, I don't put that onus on Toya, especially if she's not the one bringing money in the house. Listen here, my no means a lot when I'm the only one bringing money in the house.
Right.
We can't do that. Sorry. Dude, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's just that plain and simple.
But instead of, and we don't know what they say.
We don't know
what goes on in their house. But what it appeared to be for quite some time with them having these tax issues is that Toya got to say yes to a lot of things, and Eugene just had to go to work more.
And then get criticized for working too much.
Yes.
And being tired when he come home from work.
Yeah.
Come on.
But
now.
I say dynamic. That's what works for
Hey, listen, it worked for you. Cool. Fine.
Fine. Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. And then about the wine donation thing, it just sounded
Tacky.
even worse when she explained it because, yes, the wine was a gift given to you based off of the agreement that you have. And this is the prime opportunity. This was an event that you didn't even necessarily have to throw independently
the whole time
in order to market your business. So, yes, this is the perfect time to gather up all them cases for the year. This would have been the time to be like, okay, if I only get 40 cases out the year, I want these 40 cases for this event. You know, I'll pay the $1,000 for the overhead to make sure things go off without a hitch.
For someone who has all these expectations, you cheap. What you did was cheap, and you tried to quote unquote word it in a way like, "Hey, listen, I had to pay because I got to pay for the bottles of wine." You didn't pay for anything.
Yeah,
they gave you a wine allowance and things like that, and they probably pushed you to put it on Bravo, Married to Medicine, and things like that. So don't try to make it seem like, quote unquote, like I paid basically by supporting the wine. They said we didn't even ask for the liquor. You get what I'm saying? But it is what it is, Toya. I'm just trying to live up to your expectations. Okay, you get what I'm saying?
Well, Andy asked Heavenly why put Toya on blast, and Heavenly pretty much is like, it was wrong. I do a lot of things wrong.
Yeah.
And Jackie didn't think that Heavenly handled it well. She felt like she could have brought it up at a better time.
Different time, Heavenly, but that's Heavenly's cross the bear all the time.
Right. We see a package that the doctor's working and all the things that they've done throughout the season.
Yeah.
Andy brings up the conversation. First, Dr. Jackie talks about the White House, how she was excited to get a message out on the platform, and how Kamala Harris's people had invited her to a game. Well, Heavenly brought that out, I guess, because she wanted to flex for her friend. And Jackie didn't want to go, but Heavenly was definitely trying to go.
Of course.
Heavenly tried Ozempic, but she heard that all the fat will come back after you stop, so she stopped taking it. And Andy brings up the comments that Jackie made about black women being more dramatic, crying wolf. And Jackie says that was hard for her to see the words that she used tear down everything that she's done to help black women. Phaedra knows, Jackie also goes around and saying who reached out and who didn't, and pretty much Quad didn't reach out.
What did you think of that?
I thought that was weird because we're trying to talk to you about what you said and how it impacted people, but you're talking about how people did or didn't show up for you. So I felt like we were kind of missing the point in that conversation.
The whole time, though, how did you become the victim?
Right.
Mind you, it was your words that almost tore down everything you built.
And the thing is, some people might not agree with you, Dr. Jackie. Even your friends. Yes, you might be going through this hard time of getting torn down by what you said, but there could be people, your friends, who might feel like, well, she said it. What am I supposed to do?
my thing is this.
I don't know.
When this thing happened, it happened after Quad was quote unquote kicked off the show by the cast. So why would Quad reach out? Yeah,
y'all weren't fooling with her.
Exactly. So it I don't understand.
But they want Quad to beg to be in their good graces, which is the weirdest thing.
It's not gonna happen. And here's the thing about it. I got some smoke for Quad too. You get what I'm saying? Like everybody's right and everybody's wrong in this episode. It seemed like. So it's like with Jackie, the thing I did not like about this scene is that y'all protected Jackie again, and I'm not trying to have y'all retrial her again throughout this whole thing that she's been through about being canceled and Phaedra giving her things about I understand what it's like to be canceled. Well, let's take a moment. Phaedra, I think your thing was you said something that was completely out of line. You made an accusation to somebody that is a serious accusation, and you rightfully got canceled.
Right.
So don't make it seem like, I got canceled. We all go through it. Mind you, the things that Jackie said came out of her mouth.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And I understand, and Andy even made a joke saying, look, it's always Dr. Heavenly's YouTube. You get what I'm saying? But I felt like it was too much of, like, oh, Jackie. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I feel like the conversation shifted from what it should have been about.
And at the end of the day, I'm not asking them to be like, I'm not asking them to condemn Jackie. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, don't make her a victim.
It shifted from what she said and I felt like we should have gotten a full explanation, and went from that to who was there for Jackie and who wasn't.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, what Andy should have asked, what did you learn from that moment?
Yeah.
In the sense of like, basically like, what did you learn in that moment? And then we would have got completely basically what she said in her apology, which was, I'm talking about the second one, the one that was really good.
Yeah.
Right? We would have like, I learned that blah, 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 blah. I may have been insensitive about this. I may have been insensitive about that. And I should never, even if I'm comfortably talking to a friend, I should never make women's pregnancy or what they go through trivial and things of that nature. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But it turned into, Quad didn't call.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that is strange, but continue.
Yeah. Well, Phaedra, she did reach out. She knows what it's like to be canceled.
Okay.
And she doesn't think that one misjudgment, one faux pas shouldn't cost you everything that you've been working for.
She's a doctor and you're not, Phaedra. Relax.
Simone was shocked by the hate that Dr. Jackie was receiving. Dr. Jackie said that the women supported her. Toya called. Simone came by every day. Heavenly sent gifts. And Phaedra called as well.
Mind you, Jackie wasn't accused of anything.
Quad thinks Jackie is amazing.
Yeah.
She's had people come up against her too. She was going through her own issues at the time, so she couldn't be for Jackie in the way that she probably would have wanted to be.
Yeah.
But Quad texted Heavenly, Jackie, and Simone. She told them that she was praying for Jackie, and she stands for Jackie. Andy says quietly.
Yeah, and Andy, relax. You get what I'm saying? But I do find it strange that people coming by every day and basically like, Jackie, you okay? Jackie, you okay? These were Jackie words.
And at the same time, Heavenly apparently had told Quad not to reach out to Jackie.
Yeah.
That she's going through a tough time right now. Y'all really aren't in the best place. It'd probably be best for you just to chill. And that's what she did.
And guess what? Simone said it. I don't know if it's in your notes down the line. She said, why you gotta reach out to Heavenly to talk Jackie? And I agree with Simone 100%.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, Quad, you're not a kid. Mm-hmm. You're not. I'd rather call and you not answer than me be like, hey, should I talk to Jackie? And that's the thing about it. I feel like the main reason why Jackie is quote unquote viewed as a villain of the show is because everybody exalt her so high. Mm-hmm. And you're only going. Listen here, it's only one way to go once you're high. And that's down.
Yeah.
So it's like, listen here, when it was time for Jackie to be on that cross to bear that she made, I don't really understand this segment of who was there for you while you was going through a dark time of your life that you brought upon yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I get it, but I don't get it.
Well, Jackie tells us that she cares about her patients.
Yes.
She is invested in them, and even to the point really where it almost cost her marriage.
Yeah, listen here, I do, even with everything I said, I do not believe Jackie is a bad doctor. Right? I just think y'all have I think a lot of people who haven't dealt with doctors throughout their life have a wrong and weird expectation of doctors. Doctors are not your counselors. They're not even friendly most of the time and things like that. They are there to basically deal with the diagnosis. The nurses and everybody else deal with the people.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Even though the nurses, I'm not doing that to discredit nurses. Nurses definitely deal with the everyday labor and things of the people and things like that.
Yeah, and all the technical stuff as
exactly.
Well. But doctors aren't.
Look, man.
Like bedside manner is accrued.
Man, I guess. when my father was in the hospital, me and the doctor was playing hide and seek.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to find him and trying to time it when he came in? He came in first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Because he knew that, and I'm not saying he did this on purpose, but, who knows, right? He knew he'd come first thing in the morning. I'm going to talk to you. You're by yourself. I ain't got to deal with no family members because I usually got there around like 9 a.m. I said, is the doctor coming today? Oh, the doctor was here at 7:05. 05? Because, like, doctors, they are special doctors that are very good with the people and with the diagnosis. But a lot of doctors that I come across, they're not mean, but they're just very, like, this is the problem. This is what we're going to do. We're moving on.
Right. But speaking to Dr. Jackie actually saying what she said during that interview, like, that's very dangerous rhetoric, and she shouldn't have said it. And she shouldn't have said it.
Her words, by the way.
Yeah.
Her words. Yeah. And this wasn't a thing that she was, how, like, if you're secretly recorded, that's like, that's betraying your privacy.
Right.
This wasn't that.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? If she was secretly recorded, I would feel differently. Like whoever secretly recorded her, that is not right. But she was talking freely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, moving on, we see Quad's package.
Hey, Quad.
Which is the resurrection, the arguing, the being kicked off the show. Quad acknowledges that she had a rough season with Toya.
Yeah.
And when it came to last season, and she didn't need to repeat the lies that were told. Mm-hmm. Which is interesting because Toya is friends with Anila when Anila was the one who was thinking all this stuff. But Quad just kept it going.
I guess Anila apologized.
Yeah. I think that's what it was.
I think Anila apologized, and that's just how, like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, Quad apologizes.
Finally.
And it was actually a very heartfelt apology.
Finally.
Mm-hmm. And she says that there have been things that have been done to her that upset her, like Simone talking about her sleeping with her contractor. Mm-hmm. And then she went ahead, turned around, did the same thing to Toya.
Yeah.
And she said that was wrong.
Yeah, and the thing about it, before you even get to that next line about Quad taking Toya saying Quad finally took accountability, Quad argues that I apologized multiple times. And I would say, Quad, out of the multiple times you apologize, this is the actual apology.
Yes.
Dude, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't want the Frank Sinatra type of, like, you know, like type of speeches and things of that nature. And like, it wasn't dramatic. It wasn't the Quad, you know, type of thing. It's the first time you took full accountability for what you said. And I agree with Toya with that point. I agree, like, hey, out of all the apologies that you said you did, this is the first time I actually heard you took accountability.
Yeah. And I think there is a difference between even just saying, like, yeah, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Versus actually saying, like, I see how that was really hurtful. I did the thing that hurt me, and I am sorry. Like, that is a lot different than something quick, fast, in a hurry.
Yeah.
Girl, get over it. We good or we not.
Yeah, and truth be told, usually that's why Toya felt like that party was genuine in that moment, because she actually stated what she did wrong.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
But Toya also feels that the apology is kind of convenient.
Of course.
And she is going to pretty much see how Quad acts in the future. And Quad told Toya that she was there to support her when it came to the Napa trip. But then at the same time, she turned around and said she's only there for the check. So Toya is like, which one is it, Quad?
How did you feel about that?
I felt, well, to basically, Quad was saying that she ended up saying she was there for the check because of how the ladies were treating her. And she felt that Toya didn't really want her there. So I think she probably said that out of, like, defensiveness or anger. And I feel like she probably really was there for both. I mean, I think she was there because it was work. But at the same time, she did want to support Toya in this endeavor. Like, Quad seems very genuine to me as far as supporting people in their business endeavors.
Yeah.
Like, she wants people to win. So
Quad has a way of talking that, like, she says things in 3 sentences or even 5 sentences that can be said in one.
Yeah.
And when you over talk like that, things get lost in translation. You get what I'm saying? So, like, even with her apology, who knows how the apology was back in the day when the first 3 sentences is about how you were slighted.
Right.
Dude, you get what I'm saying?
Right. Like we don't hear the rest of what you're saying because all you're saying is me, 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 me.
So that's my only issue with Quad, right? Is that I feel like Quad may genuinely feel like she wanted there to support Toya and things of that nature, but things get lost in translation with Quad with these monologues.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, Jackie would have loved to hear Quad say that she messed up.
Yeah.
And Quad should have called.
That's strange, Jackie.
Jackie says sometimes it's just nice to hear that you thought of me.
I don't like that at all.
Quad this is where we get to where Quad wanted to call Jackie, but Heavenly said no.
Yeah.
Simone doesn't understand why Quad has to check in with Heavenly. There was a thought that Quad may have been at the root of the clip resurfacing. And Quad said that she wasn't involved, and she really couldn't believe that was a thought.
What did you think about that?
I really don't have any thoughts about it. I mean,
you really don't have a thought about Heavenly and them saying that Quad was behind Jackie video getting released, and they thought it was Quad who did that.
Well, no, like clearly that's wrong.
Well, I'm not.
I mean, clearly that's wrong for them to think that. But at the end of the day, like, you don't necessarily know for sure what people will or won't do, especially when you ice them out and isolate them. So could she have been behind it? Possibly, but she said she didn't, and she actually took it to heart that they would think she would do something so nasty and evil. And if she's not that type of person, then yeah, that's wrong for them to assume that about her, especially since she's been their friend for over 10 years. She's been here since the thing started. But at the end of the day, I'm the type of person where I don't put nothing past nobody.
So you saying it's a chance?
So it's a thought. I don't think it's wrong to have the thought.
Who is Jackie's number one enemy on the internet? She only has one. Herself? Buffy.
Oh.
Stop it. Like, so out of everybody who you thought could have released that or could have pointed people to that direction, you automatically go to Quad and not Buffy first? And I'm not even saying Buffy did it. I'm not just saying that. I'm just saying, like, who do you to say, like to put that on Quad?
Yeah.
And Jackie, as much as you work and things of that nature, I know people like this who, and you may be this type of person. That person probably never calls you, but then they will put the onus on you. Well, you never called me.
Yeah, my thing with Jackie is like, does Jackie be calling people?
I don't think Jackie be calling folks.
Yeah.
So for you to be
does Jackie really be on the phone like, let me call Quad and Kiki with Quad?
I don't get that feeling.
I mean, Jackie don't barely talk to her husband, so she sitting up here calling everybody.
So my thing is like, people. I feel like people are putting onus in making Quad go the extra mile when they not even really going the 1 mile for like Quad and things like that. And truth be told, I think there's an understanding amongst the group that, hey, we all not close like that. The only ones that's probably close like that is probably Heavenly, Jackie, and Simone, right? And I'm not talking about like amongst each other. I'm talking about like Jackie may be close with Heavenly, Jackie may be close with Simone, and everybody else, we just see y'all when we film. Right. So to make it seem like it just feels good to know that you're thinking of me. You just voted me off the show.
Yeah. Like, let's be real.
Like,
here.
Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
And now you thinking like immediately right after it may be convenient. Like after that, I pointed people to a video that you said. Like, why would you put that on me? You get what I'm saying? And then not even call me and be like, did you have something to do with that?
Well, that's the same way where it's just like it doesn't make sense to call because we ain't talking.
It's hypocrisy. That's basically what it is.
Well, Phaedra said that the phone works both ways.
Of course it does.
And the ladies say that they call Quad, but she doesn't call back.
Okay.
Now, I can believe that too.
Me too. Because I believe that they are only friends when they film. I don't think they're like best friends when like the camera's off.
I don't know. The way that it was explained, it seemed like they do hang around each other.
I'm going off of the Carlos King and Quad interview. Unless Quad is a liar and things of that nature, I'm like the only ones that are close are Simone and Jackie and Heavenly, to where they may talk off camera and things like that. Okay. Other than that, everybody else talk when they see each other when they film.
Okay. Well, Simone says that if something happens to you, I call and I show up regardless of if we're talking or not. Like, you never called or texted to show up in my life. Yeah. Quad asks, well, were we friends at the time?
Were we friends at the time?
Simone says it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
And then she brings up about the tragedy that happened at her house with the niece.
Yeah, stop right there for a second. Mm-hmm. You heard Quad basically saying, like, trying to signal to Simone, like,
like, don't say it.
Don't go there. Mm-hmm. And when Quad already alluded to this in the beginning of the episode, she said, I was going through some things myself.
Yeah.
Listen here, Quad is very open to saying, I'm going through something. If she wanted to specify what she was going through, Quad have no problem doing that herself.
Right.
Right? When she said, I was going through some things, I automatically knew what she was talking about. Mm-hmm. But for Simone to use this as an example of why she's a bad friend, I'm like, this example is too heavy to try to prove your point.
Yeah.
And things like that. That's not fair. And I felt like it was below the belt, Simone. That was foul.
Yeah, I felt like it was below the belt.
It was foul.
And Quad was trying to get her to, don't get
relax.
so descriptive.
Exactly.
Don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, just relax a little bit. But Simone was already worked up. So she just blurted it out. And so she felt, Cecil and Simone have opened their home to Quad. And Quad has never opened her home to Simone, not once. And I do think that's kind of crazy. If we've been here for you, if we've invited you to our home, we've cooked for you and all this type of stuff, and we're actually trying to build a real friendship and relationship, why haven't you invited me to your place?
I was asked this question. I would say this to be devil's advocate. Do I invite you over to my house where I'm quote unquote getting abused by my husband? Like was this during the Dr. G era? Was this during the post Dr. G era? Like, there's no excuse of why, quote unquote, if someone invites you to the house and things of that nature, that you're not, quote unquote, returning the the favor and things.
Especially if the person doesn't have a spouse.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when people have spouses, you have to be mindful of other, their schedules, if they feel like having company. Yeah. Like, some people's spouses don't like people just hanging out around the house like that. Like, y'all can go out to eat or whatever like that, kick it here, maybe an hour. I mean, not saying people are that strict, but I'm just saying, like, you have to consider your partner's requests about having folks in the home. But with Quad being a single woman, and her talking about being out and about, being a socialite and all this type of stuff, why not invite your castmates to come hang with you every once in a while?
Maybe, but also
unless y'all really aren't friends.
But I think that's how it is. And also to drive home the point with her niece, I just think it was foul in that sense, because even Heavenly stepped in and said, because she basically was like, she was comparing her friendship or her lack of friendship with Quad to the friendship she has with Toya, which kind of make us allude to like, oh, you're basically saying I'm friends with Toya against you, Quad.
Yeah.
And that's when Heavenly was like, well, just because Toya do all that doesn't mean like Quad got to do that.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, that's facts.
Yeah, because Simone was saying like Eugene cooks for me, Toya invites me to her house, all this type of stuff. And that's the other thing I don't like is comparison. Yeah. I agree, like, Quad, why hasn't she been at your house? But at the same time, like, maybe I don't like people in my house.
I know I don't.
Maybe I'd rather go hang out somewhere, get out the house, grab a cocktail, whatever the case may be. Yeah. But my home, I just want it for me. And that's fine. And you can't compare what one person does as far as being a friend to another person if they're both still there for you.
Simone showed her hand. Showed her hand. She basically made it seem like, hey, I'm on Toya's side, and because I'm on Toya's side, I'm not friends with you. And to be truthful, if I were to give my opinion, the way Toya looks at Quad, Toya do not like that woman.
Yeah.
At all.
And Simone didn't want to upset Toya. Yeah.
Even though Simone, I've seen the whole show.
And Heavenly tells her that's not a reason to be mad at Quad.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Like, I've seen the show, how you walked around Toya, called her stupid and dumb 10 times, walking around her. Yep. And now y'all cool. Mm-hmm. So, like, Quad asking that question, were we friends at the time? That's a real question to ask, because seasons, y'all have peaks and valleys of friendships.
Right.
And things like that. And to be frank, when it comes to a death in the family, if we are beefing, right, there is like a great area to where it's like, I still don't bang with you, but I'm just letting you know I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yeah.
So like, just because you reach out to me and things like that because of what happened to me tragic in my life doesn't necessarily mean you're there for me.
Right.
Go ahead.
Well, Quad appreciates Simone's support and she thanks her.
Yeah.
Quad asked Jackie, when they actually like get up, go to take a break, she pulls Jackie to the side and asks, you really thought I would do that to you? Like, I would resurface a clip to try to hurt you. And Jackie said that she was hurting. She was really in a bad headspace. And she says, we're not that connected for me to know for sure whether you would or you wouldn't. And Jackie says, I'd rather lose a friend than lose myself.
What the hell that mean, Jackie? What did you think overall?
Overall, well, I want to just kind of talk about just that section about Quad going up to Jackie.
Yeah.
And I do feel like it was important for her to go to Jackie so that Jackie could feel like, girl, I would never do nothing like that to you. And I do understand that when you're in a bad headspace and something comes out of nowhere, you're just trying to find a reason or an explanation.
Okay.
And the reason and explanation is, Jackie, you said what you said. But she wanted to find somebody external to blame, And nobody was there to blame but yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, I feel like y'all want Quad to bow on this throne that y'all have. At the end of the day, Jackie, you may come off as a nice nasty type of person. Simone is nice nasty and things like that, and y'all want Quad to bow and things like that, putting expectations on her that I don't even know if y'all fulfill. I don't even know if y'all truly friends in the sense of, in a friend group, I accepted, well, let me talk about me. Let me get y'all behind the curtain. In my friend group, I accepted my role as the one that calls everybody, the one that gathers everybody together, right? Are we mad at Quad based off of the characters that she display as a person, or are we mad at Quad because she don't check up on us? Because if I was to quote unquote judge my friend group that I've been friends with for over 20 years, right, based on because they don't call me, I feel like that's not fair.
Okay.
because I'm like, hey, when we are together, your character and things like that, it's amazing. Mm-hmm. I accept the role of, hey, I'm going to check up on my guys. I'm going to check up on my girls and things like that once a month. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to make my rounds. Hey, is everything good with you? Is everything good with you? Everything good with you? I just feel like the friendship was never there. And now you're quote unquote using things like we was never connected and things like that. Throughout 10 seasons of watching the show, Jackie, I don't even see you. Do I remember a scene with you and Quad in it alone?
Yeah, but I feel like with Jackie, like she was closest to Simone, and then she became closer to Heavenly.
And that's what I'm saying.
And Jackie just does not. She's just not open in that way to me.
Are you close with Toya?
So I feel like if people want to be friends with Jackie, like they really have to like invade her space the way that Heavenly did. Basically, and that's what I gotta wedge myself into your life. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But other than that, like no, Jackie isn't just kicking it with folks and inviting people to dinner and stuff like that. She's working.
Simone and Jackie was hanging out on lunch breaks.
Yes.
From their jobs.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So many times than not, I'm like, the expectations that you put on Quad, I'm talking about Jackie specifically, about we're not connected, I don't think you want to be.
Exactly.
So I'm like, so why are you using it as a tool against me?
Right.
Like, well, you didn't call me. Jackie, we never talked on the phone.
Yeah.
So why are you using it against me now as a reason to, like, put that on me?
But I do want to say that if it's true that they've called Quad and Quad doesn't respond.
That's wild. I ain't gonna hold you.
Then yeah, I would have a problem with that too. And you only want to respond when we're filming.
I think it's
that's not cool.
I think they feel like they are the stars of the show, because you have to look through the peaks and valleys of the show. Quad was married to Greg. That was her quote unquote way into Married to Medicine, right? When she got divorced from Greg, she still was on the show, right? And I think that sister girl or
sister circle,
that sister circle thing. It made Quad receive opportunities from this show that basically, I'm not going to say as a star, but as someone who was an add-on, they was like, I felt like they wanted her to kiss the ring, to at least be like, hey, we still let you be on the show. You're not married to Greg no more. You're single.
You're not a doctor.
You're not a doctor. But she getting opportunities to be on shows and basically get a cookbook and things like that. But she's not kissing the ring.
Right.
Through each step. So when it came out verbally that, you know, without these sisters, not the Married to Medicine, the way you got your platform in the first place. But you thought that people know you through Sister Circle?
Yeah.
And not us?
Yeah, she valued their relationship
so
more.
I think that, I don't think they're over that. I don't think it is a combination of a whole bunch of things. I think it's a combination of that one thing that just makes everything like clicks.
And just colors it a certain way.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because I'm like, in every step, whenever you make it, you want to always reference, like, I wouldn't have been here without Blair. Yeah. I wouldn't have been here without Chris. You get what I'm saying? But she's like, I wouldn't have been here without my sister circle. And they like, for one, that show's canceled. Number two, wait a minute, you got on the show through Greg. Greg's not on the show. We still let you on the show. And then you're not even giving us no respect.
Yeah.
And then Quad, always with the excuses, like, if y'all would have stayed, at the end, I gave y'all respect. And we're like, okay, Quad.
But when you open it up that way, ain't nobody going to listen to whatever else you got to say.
Anything else on this reunion?
That's all I got.
Man, make sure y'all subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Y'all be good.
Bye.